So, back to Annie. She takes the photo book and she heads over to the attic door thing. I don't remember them ever saying there's anything in the attic or that she has any reason to go up there. When she pulls the attic door open, a whole bunch of flies come out. You would think this would make you instinctively close it immediately. Not because it's scary or anything, but just because there's a shitload of flies getting into your house. But no, she just climbs into the swarm of flies, and she's going into the attic for what? To find more evidence? Without even having really gone through the boxes you already have? But I guess she's right, because she does find a dead body. So what do I know? Cut back to Peter in the classroom. He hears Charlie's click sound, moving all around the room. Puts his hand up in the air like the staff thing from the drawing of Pyman. I'm sure it's pointing northwest because that is a thing for some reason. And I know I said earlier it's because you summoned Pyman from the northwest. That's not even true either. The movie made that up. And he slams his face on the desk twice and then starts screaming. The landline starts ringing. It's the school calling. But Annie is outside in the rain by the treehouse. Sure, there's a reason, but who the fuck knows? Who cares? So Peter's dad gets the call at work. He picks up Peter. Peter's in the back seat. The dad is looking at Peter in the rearview mirror for too long. And when he looks forward, he sees the light is red and he slams on his brakes. This doesn't get any reaction from Peter, who is fucking out. Is he sedated? Is he tranquilized? What kind of drugs did the school nurse give him? The following scenes between Annie and Steve are by far the dumbest of the whole movie. And that's saying something. So they're putting Peter in his bed, and the mom says to the dad, I need you to go in the attic and see what I saw. There's a body.
I think it's my mother, I think, but I can't tell because the skin's all black and she's all distended, but the head is gone.
So this is more of the, she's just gonna keep saying a whole bunch of crazy shit fast, and everyone just has to go with it. Otherwise the movie doesn't get to happen. He walks over to the attic door, all annoyed. She says, and there's more.
You mean more than your mother's headless body? Of course there is.
So he thinks she's having a mental breakdown, and he's just like, oh, I'll humor you in the bitchiest way possible. She starts to run away as he climbs the ladder, and he doesn't say shit. I'd be a little concerned about what the fuck she's doing, but he doesn't say anything. She goes and starts a fire for some reason. We hear him scream like he's getting a prostate exam. He climbs down the ladder as she returns. He says, what the fuck was that? Why didn't you call the police? She says,
Police can't help us.
really? The police can't help you? The police, the only people trained and designated to help you in this exact situation, can't help you. Even if you think it's a cult or a curse or a demon, you still need someone to deal with the fucking rotting corpse in the attic. And then we get another info dump. This time, it's kind of like a recap dump. Like it's information that we already know. But I'm still going to count it because it just feels like the movie trying to explain itself in a shitty info dump way. She says Joan taught her how to do the seance and she didn't even want to.
She taught me how to do the seance. I didn't even want to.
She says, now look, this is my mother's album. See this? See her? That's her. That's Joan. She didn't even mention knowing my mom, and I've never met her before, but she approached me. Now look at this. See the symbol on the necklace my mom gave me? It's her necklace, right? They're both wearing it, and they're wearing it in every photo. And look at that pattern. Did you see it up there? This was painted above the body, right? In blood. She says a whole bunch of shit she can't possibly know. She says they put a curse on us when we brought Charlie back. We made a pact with something. If we destroy this book, it will take me to. I tried to burn it. I tried, but my arm caught on fire as if I was linked to it because I am linked to it. I understand this now. Steve, if we don't destroy this book, Peter will... Oh God, do you understand? We have to do this. Please, 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 for Peter. He says fucking nothing, and he goes with her. She covers the book in paint thinner and she starts kissing him goodbye. I don't know why she wants to burn this book so bad. In all those books, we didn't see a single fucking page saying burn your dead child's notepad drawing book and that'll break the curse. What the fuck is happening? Like, if you're certain that burning this book will mean burning yourself to death, wouldn't you want to make sure that it's actually going to end the curse and it's not just something that you think? Like, there's a fucking rotting corpse in your attic that is clearly a part of the ritual. Burn that. Steve finally says,
You are sick, Annie. I need to call the police.
She takes the book from Steve. She throws it in the fire. But instead of her catching on fire, Steve catches on fire. And even in this movie with cults and magic and demons and shit, this makes no fucking sense. Like, how is Steve connected to the book? How is she connected to the book? Shouldn't Peter be the one that catches on fire? He was the one being drawn in the book. So all that really happened is when she threw the book in the fire, Pyman just set Steve on fire. That's what happened, because there's no real connection there, right? Which I guess is why they added the little line of text that says that Pyman is the god of mischief. That's not even true. That's something that the movie made up and attached to this character, probably just to make this scene seem like it kind of makes sense, which it doesn't. The light shimmer thing goes over the mom's face, and her demeanor changes from horrified to entranced, meaning she is now possessed by Pyman. Nothing else catches on fire, no smoke alarms go off, the house doesn't fill with smoke, none of that shit matters, and the scene just fucking ends. Peter wakes up later that night. He sits up in bed and someone outside turns a light on. We see Annie, who is either now possessed or has been bitten by a radioactive spider, crawl across the walls. None of the other characters, like Charlie, could fly around when they were possessed, but for some reason the mom can. Peter starts walking around his dark house. He doesn't try turning any lights on. He stands next to a light switch, and then he just walks around in the dark. As he walks downstairs, we see a piano knocked over. Remember the piano? No? Well, that's because it never fucking mattered before in the whole rest of the movie. But we need it for something we're going to do in a little bit here. I guess his cell phone doesn't exist anymore, because we haven't seen it since it stopped serving as a plot device. He looks around the living room slowly. He finds his dad's charred corpse. Hi, Mom is Spider-Manning in the corner of the ceiling. He looks over his shoulder and he sees some naked guy in the closet. Then there's a thud, and then his mom starts running at him from behind him, and he takes off running. Did he know it was her when he started running? And if so, then why would he start running? Wouldn't he desperately want her in this moment? Hasn't he been looking for her this whole time?
Mom? Mom? Mom?
He somehow outruns the Spider-Man demon that can fly and climb on walls. He trips at the top of the stairs. I was really worried for a second that she was going to catch him because he tripped. But it's okay, because the mom, who can fly, she also trips. He runs up the ladder to the attic, pulls it up, and closes the door and gets away. I don't know why he ran up the ladder to the attic. They haven't established at all that he has any sort of connection to being up there or would view it as a safe space. Would have been nice if they had established, like, there's a gun up there or something, some reason for him to run up to the attic and think that that's the place to go. She's banging her head on the attic door. It's a cool looking shot, but it's also like, oh, I guess after she tripped, she remembered she could fly. The attic is all romantic looking. There's a picture of Peter with his eyes poked out. It just looks like he has big cartoon eyes. He looks up, and he sees his mom flossing her head off with some piano wire. Are there other ways in besides the ladder door thing? How the fuck did she get in there? She starts to go faster. You wonder, what's going to happen when she gets all the way through? Will the body fall limp? while the head just floats there? Is the head gonna fall off and turn into a ball, just like Charlie's did? But none of that happens, because we get totally blue-balled by a bunch of naked old people. Peter sees these people, and then he yells, and he runs and he jumps out the window. So the naked strangers are what put him over the edge, not the floating mother sawing her own head off. He was doing okay checking that out. But the weirdo naked old people, that's the last straw. So Peter falls in some bushes, and then we hear the mom's head fall off and hit the floor, I guess. But we don't get to see it, so that's lame. Now that her head is off, Pyman can leave her body and go fully possess Peter. We see Peter's soul or something move away from his body, like a shadow moving away. And then we see Pyman gently float down and enter Peter's body. So Peter looks up and he sees his mom's body float into the treehouse. It's very goofy. He stands up and clicks his tongue. So we know he's Pyman now. There's a bunch of old naked people in the woods, I guess. We don't know who they are. So who the fuck cares? He climbs up into the treehouse and everyone is bowing to him. He doesn't look too thrilled to be there, which makes sense, because a little bit ago he was one of the kings of hell with 200 legions of fallen angels, and now he's been demoted to the leader of a nudist colony in Utah. Then the movie ends how it started, with an info dump. Joan says to Peter, hey, it's all right. You're Pyman, one of the 8 kings of hell. We have looked to the northwest and called you in. We have corrected your first female body and give you now this healthy male host. Tell us the secrets to everything and bind all men to our will as we have bound ours to yours.
Give us your knowledge of all secret things.
And if you're telling him his name and what he is and what's going on, I'm not sure he's going to know the secrets to everything. And that's the end of the movie. The song at the end doesn't fit the vibe of the rest of the movie at all.
And ice cream castles in the air.
A lot of people like this movie because of all the little details and the research that must have went into it, and they think that legitimizes the whole thing. But I don't think it does. Like, if you're gonna fictionalize a lot of the research that you do or the details that you put into it, then what the fuck does it matter if any of it is based on reality? Like, a lot of the words used in the movie that we talked about, they're just sort of vaguely related to rituals and witchcraft. And the symbol, they changed the symbol. I don't know who makes up the symbols or how they come up with the designs that they did, but I'm pretty sure you can't change the fucking symbol. I would think that that's like taking a letter out of someone's name, and that it wouldn't work. Like if you were trying to summon Stan, and everyone's like, who's Stan? And you go, well, his name is Satan, but it makes more sense with what we're doing if we get rid of the first A. But it's Satan. You know we're talking about Satan, right? Even though we're writing Stan on everything. Strongly recommend you go watch Hugo Strange's review of Hereditary. It's the only other review I've seen criticizing this film. Now, his review is probably what mine should have been. It's like 20 minutes, and it's funny, and it covers things that I didn't even cover in this whole fucking long review that I've done. And hopefully he starts making more videos, because I did manage to get to talk to him and found out that, you know, YouTube is a lot of work. And unless you pass a certain threshold or catch some lucky break, it doesn't really pay off. So it's just something that you do if you want to, and maybe you get lucky. And he did it for a long fucking time, and just other things take precedence over this shit. And that sucks. It fucking sucks to lose a creator who's smart and funny and insightful and has real interesting, relevant things to say. So please, if you make it this far in my video, go check out Hugo Strange's review of Hereditary, and subscribe to his channel and support him and comment and like and all those things, and hopefully we can bring him back. My next review will be part of a new series called Retro Requests. First will be Child's Play, and after that, Silver Bullet. If you have any requests for old horror movies, put it in the comments, and it will become part of that series. Other reviews I have coming up include Megan, more Paranormal Activity movies, more The Conjuring movies, and more movies for the series The Greatest Horror Films Ever to Fall Asleep To. If you joined us for How Horrific, I'm going to make that its own thing. We'll talk about that later. Become a patron for $1 a month or whatever the fuck I have on there now. I'll send you stickers. Want to see them? There's one of the stickers. It's a little reflective knife sticker. And here's my logo sticker. I'll send that shit to you if you become a patron. Thank you again to everyone who has commented and liked and subscribed. I'll see you in the next one.